Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, California Resources Corporation, Edison International, Center for Neural Skills, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Kern High School District, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Tuolumne County Superintendent of Schools, and Valley Strong Credit Union, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Cece.
And I'm Iman. For math homework help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357. Everywhere else, 1-866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org. We're online at dothemathonline.net and on social media.
All right, nicely done, Iman. Thanks for taking care of that. So, what class are you in now?
I'm currently in 10th grade, sophomore.
You're in 10th, so you're a sophomore. At what school?
Stockdale High School.
Do you remember the first time you were on Do the Math?
Kind of.
Do you remember how long ago it was?
I think I was in 6th grade, maybe.
Probably 6th grade, right? Could have been 5th grade, but I'm sure in 6th grade. So you've been here in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, now 10th grade, 5 times on Do the Math. You getting sick of it yet?
No.
No way, dude, because you know what? There's always something new to be doing with math, right?
Exactly.
So what math class are you taking right now as a sophomore?
I'm currently doing pre-calculus.
Okay, and how do you like that? I mean, do you enjoy it? Are you looking forward to it? Are you cool with it all? Or?
Yeah, it's, I think all the other classes I've done before, they've like helped me.
What one do you think probably helped you the most with this one this year?
I believe Algebra 2 probably helped me the most.
Okay, and did you take that last year or was that kind of, because I know in high school you can take some things during the summer and...
I did it last year during the school year.
Okay, and you did well with that and that kind of set the basis for what's going on now?
Yes.
All right. Now that you're a sophomore, you need to start kind of thinking about what you would like to do when you're through with high school. So have you thought about that all, or you're like, hey, listen, I'll wait until I'm my junior year and deal with that?
I've been kind of thinking about it. I was thinking more of a route dealing with law or with business.
Okay, and because you're part of the debate team, that's going to be pretty helpful if you go into law, right?
Yeah.
And how long have you been part of debate?
Since last year, 9th grade.
Okay, and so it went pretty well, obviously, if you're doing it in 10th grade.
Yeah.
So are there different categories that you can choose in debate, and is there one that you like more than the others?
Yeah, so there are 3 main categories. So there's Lincoln Douglas, which is a one-on-one debate.
So if you and I just go at one-on-one?
Yes, but there are like specific rules and times for speeches that you have to follow.
So you can't go over?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's Public Forum, which I currently compete in, and that is a team of 2 against another team of 2. And there's also like rules where you have to follow certain times. And then the last one is Policy Debate, which is also 2-on-2 team, and it's similar to Public Forum, but it's been around longer and it has more of a set, like, grounded rule system.
Okay, that Public Forum, did you do that last year also?
Yes.
So you like that format?
Yeah.
And is there something that you've come up with that you've done in debate that you like, you know what, I kind of getting this and this is something I can always put in my back pocket to use for later on?
Yeah, definitely the speaking skills, like, because it helps a lot when you do speaking and giving speeches, being like, not being afraid in front of others. And it's also helped in researching, because a lot of these topics are related with current events, and you have to dig through the internet and find articles and whatnot.
Right, and you got to look at bias and things like that also, right? So you need to dig a little deeper to find out the information you need to back up your argument, whatever side it is. So are those things that, and correct me if I'm wrong, do you get to decide, or do they kind of appoint you a side?
You have like several rounds during the competition, so you're given the affirmation where you're in support of the argument, and then you may switch to the negation where you're against the argument.
Okay.
So it alternates.
And you and your person that you're working with, your partner, do you guys kind of keep the same roles? Do you kind of go on and off each other? Or?
So your partner, like, you assign each other the first speaker, so you speak first, and then the other one is the second speaker, so you'll speak second in giving speeches. So it'll be the first speaker of the affirmation, then the first speaker of the negation, then the second speaker of the affirmation, and the second speaker of the negation, and so on.
Okay,
So,
now you're getting all this, right, Cece? Because Cece works at one of the other high schools in town, and I'm sure you want to become part of the debate club person, mentor, or whatever, right?
Oh, we've got somebody who handles that for us.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was going to say, if you need to, you could have
Yeah.
Iman come over, kind of give you some pointers and help you out there. So anyway, Iman, we are pleased to have you back on Do the Math again today. Are you ready to help me out with the social media problem of the day?
why not?
That's exactly the way I want to hear it. Why not? So let's go ahead and take a look at it. You familiar with the metric system? Do you remember that when you were in younger grades?
Yeah.
So it says convert 1,000 centimeters to meters. So how would you go about solving this problem?
So a centimeter is 100, so because of the prefix centi. So it would be 100th, so 0.01. Since we know that, then you could use that, it's 10 to the negative second. So you can multiply that to there, and then you could get the answer. So it would be 10 meters? Wait.
Well, there's a lot of different meters up there. We have 1, 10, 1,000, and then we have a decimal where it's
Yeah.
really a very small part. So you're going with 10 meters
Yes.
for 1,000 centimeters.
Yes.
I just want to make sure you're cool with that.
Wait. Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, you think so. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what it is.
I think I may have forgotten the matrix.
See that? There you go, right? It's all coming back, right? All you had to do was move those decimals around, right? Convert those zeros back and forth and things like that. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Time now for today's Math in the News.
Today's Math in the News, we're here with Chelsy with the Superintendent of Schools office and IgniteHER. Chelsy, why don't you explain to us first thing what IgniteHER even is?
So IgniteHER STEM for Girls is a one-day conference at Bakersfield College where students from around Kern County, 5th through 8th grade girls will be invited to come do the conference with local women in the STEM industry.
Fantastic. And how long has this been going on?
This is our second annual. We tried it in the spring last year and we're actually going to do it in the fall again this year.
Okay, fantastic. And I know we were out there and had a great time being out there. I was out there. It was a lot of fun. How many students participated last time?
We had around, I believe it ended up being 150.
Fantastic.
And this year we have 300 registered. So
Wow. Now, is registration still going on, or has that been cut off?
it's closed as of yesterday, actually.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
That's okay. So you've doubled your amount of students that you're going to be taking care of. So what kind of things happens at IgniteHER?
So we have career talks where women are just highlighting the industry that they work in, but we also have interactive workshops. So I brought a few things to kind of highlight what might be going on there.
I'd love to see that.
Okay, great. So everyone is getting a swag bag, of course. And then we have a few chemistry-like activities. This is an example of a light-up circuit that students might be building. They're doing a STEM vision board. And that's just one of the activities that are highlighted.
So STEM vision board, explain. What kind of things are they putting on there?
So I'm going to be honest, I am going to see what it is once the students actually come and make it, because I don't actually plan any of the events. It's all women in the industry out there in the world.
Oh,
so
fantastic. So
yeah.
who are some of the, if we know that it's closed, and so you probably know who some of your speakers are. Who might we be seeing?
To highlight a few, we've got a flight test pilot from NASA coming. I'm very excited about that. We have someone from Kern Energy. We've got an engineer from Anacapa Engineering.
And these are all women.
They're all women in local STEM industry from Kern County. The only two requirements is that you're a woman and you work in STEM.
Fantastic. So if I look back at that vision board then, if we could get a close-up on that probably. Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of different jobs and people. Oh, not all women, but mostly women that are in STEM. That's fantastic.
Right.
So this is just the students' vision of what it is they think they would like to maybe do in their future, perhaps.
Yes.
Okay. So and so, what is the goal? What is the ultimate goal for this program?
Well, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this statistic, but we are number 4 in STEM jobs here in Kern County, and we really want girls and women within the community to feel like they belong in that space.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you have any of the statistics as far as what percentage are women currently working in those types of fields, or?
I wish I knew off the top, but I know
Yeah.
it's certainly not near the 50-50 marker.
Absolutely, yes, for sure. And I know we visited with quite a few of the women that were out there at their booths when they were talking, and they were talking about how many of them are the first in their field, you know, and I'm not saying I'm old, I'm not saying I'm young, but a lot of them are my same age, and they're the first women in their field. So to think about how much emphasis is being put on this to try and expand that, and to maybe hopefully get to a 50-50, that's amazing in such a short time. You want to show us some more maybe activities, or?
Sure. This is a little parachute bag here, and this is like an engineering design. So a lot of the proposals that I saw from this year were students building things through an engineering design process, and so that would be kind of the focus in a lot of the proposals. So I thought I'd bring the parachutes. It's like, who can design the best parachute to have the slowest fall, and I saw some other things like
Yeah, because I feel like last year there was some egg dropping and some different things like that going on that was
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah, the girls were very excited. I rewatched the highlight video for last year, and I just the inspiration came back. It was amazing.
It was a tremendous event. I'm excited for it to happen again. So November 15th, you're going to be out at Bakersfield College again. Yes. Fantastic. And maybe let's go ahead and watch that video and see what we did last year.
Perfect.
Today we're celebrating women in STEM, and we are so excited to get girls excited about the possibilities that exist in STEM careers, especially right here in Kern County. You know, we're fourth in the nation for growth in STEM careers. That's the nation, and our girls need to know that they can be a part of that.
Don't worry about trying to fit into a predefined mold or someone else's idea of what you should do in STEM. The most important thing is to create your own path.
If you want to do something, you're more than capable of doing it. Women, I feel like, have a higher barrier than men when it comes to pursuing different things, especially STEM. So I want to let them know that STEM is definitely for girls.
Like wooden, like jute things. Yeah. What you guys can also do is you guys can put this here. You guys can put working with them is more of like showing them opportunities of how they can allow their creativity to blossom. So as you saw with the activities we're doing right now, we're trying to focus the girls into engaging themselves in more teamwork and more STEM building in general, and that's what we want to try and help do.
I was like, whoa, this place is really big, and I did not expect it to be that big. Really like hanging out and looking around here. I really liked it, and they were really nice too.
So that the small
To be here and to be led by a college student who's in this engineering program is pretty amazing. For them to see like, oh, that could be me someday. And we're loving it. It's great. It's such an empowering experience for our students and our girls to see that they can have a voice and be part of the science community.
All born with the capability of being successful in science and math. It's just a matter of having someone show us that we can discover it ourselves by exploring a variety of different things that we never thought about before. I just love seeing all these kids here, and we need more opportunities for kids in our county to see the value of STEM and what they can do with it. So this is just exciting.
I think it's really important for girls and females to have a role in the STEM jobs, in the STEM environment, because we bring different perspectives. We have different ways of thinking, different ways of problem solving, and bringing different perspectives only makes the conversation richer. It gives opportunities to maybe try things that you wouldn't try otherwise if you have a limited perspective. It just lends to a richer conversation.
Yeah, it's a good hook.
All right, well, a lot of stuff going on with STEM, especially women in STEM. Thank you once again to Chelsy for coming in and talking to about IgniteHER coming up in November. In studio, we have Iman, a sophomore at Stockdale High School, and home of the Mustangs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why I was thinking something else, but Stockdale High School Mustangs. And debate is going well, possibly helping you as you possibly move into a law field later on down the road. Yes. But how are you at solving puzzles?
I don't think I've done a brain puzzle since gate.
Okay, well, good. Well, you know what? Today's your lucky day.
gonna have fun
Cece's a
today.
master of them.
Oh, boy.
So the two of you are going to work
Okay.
on this together, all right? So head on over to the board. And I would like you, Iman, to explain to Cece how you are going to solve this problem, how many triangles are on that board. So head on over to the other side of Cece.
Yep.
Grab one of those pens. You can mark up things how you like.
Yeah,
and,
let's make sure that we're not on black because that's not going to serve us.
Right, so you can
There
use
we
different
go.
colors
All
to
right.
highlight different things, but just discuss how you would solve that problem to tell us how many total triangles are in that figure.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw this picture, I went, I know what he's going to have us do. All right, get started, and I'll stand here and just watch.
I think I remember Mr. Kushine teaching us a formula for this.
Okay, so for those that are not, that are at home not watching and going, formula, let's go ahead and just start kind of counting and figuring. And we could probably maybe come up with one, but let's just start counting and see what happens.
So there's one big one.
Okay, all right, so good. So let's go ahead and we'll just go ahead and we'll say, all right, our big one is nice and blue. So would you start, maybe we start making a record over here if we've got, however you want to do it, whether you want it to table or
Tally
something
or
like that, it doesn't, you decide. Okay, so we got that, all right, now and what do we want to do next? Let's go red.
We have this one.
Okay, cool,
So we have two triangles there. And you got one big one here.
okay,
3,
okay,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My arm's getting tired.
well, we've got so many more to go.
There's a 10, 11, 12,
Okay,
13, 14, 15. Did we get? I think.
I don't think you did the little tiny
17,
ones up there.
18.
okay, so
Oh
that
my
gets us
God.
to 18. We probably should have changed color at some point, but yes, it
Yeah.
is looking very Christmas tree-ish. We'll change color just in case. All right, so we did all of our sections of 2, right? You did your sections of 2 for here, here, and here. Those were all
Yes.
taken care of? Okay. We did our big section of 3 here, all the way down and down here, yeah? Okay, we did our sections of 1, 1, 2, 3, and we did them all the way down. We did those.
Yes.
Okay. I have a feeling since he hasn't interjected, we're missing something.
No, 18 is correct.
Oh!
So 18 is correct.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
but the thing is, when you said that there was probably a formula that you could do to figure it out just based on the number of lines, because imagine if there was one up there and it was really complicated and it had like 70 different lines on it. Would you want to sit there and try and draw all of these things on there and keep it straight?
No.
Probably not, right? So here's what we can do. How many horizontal lines are there?
2, 3.
Okay, so let's put a 3 up on the board first. And then we're going to go times. So put n. Now in parentheses next to that, n minus 1 divided by 2.
Whole thing or just the n minus 1?
Well, you're going to multiply everything there together, and then so.
Oh, well, that's
so
true, yeah.
the 3 represents the horizontal lines. What do you think the n is going to represent?
The vertical.
So try that and see what happens.
So we have 4 vertical lines. So 3 times 4. 4 minus 1 divided by 2.
Here, I'm going to change up your color while we do this. So let's rewrite this and then show it again because it's hard to see.
Okay. Just trace over it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so he told us we need to go 3 times n times the quantity n minus 1, all divided by 2. And then we're substituting in our n. So this was our horizontal lines. Okay, so then.
And then this is our vertical.
Perfect, okay. Okay, go ahead and write that and then we'll solve it.
So this would become 12 times 3 divided by 2.
Okay.
And you could do 36 divided by 2, which would be 18, but you can just
Sure.
make this into 6
Sure.
times 3,
Yep.
and that would become 18.
All right.
There you go. So that's what you could do if you have a figure with a lot of lines on. You're like, I don't even want to count the number of lines, let alone try to draw these things and figure it out. Especially if the figure is pretty small, you're not going to be able to draw these things out. So do me a favor. Imagine we had 5
Okay,
vertical lines now.
Let's. Oh, I do it every time, don't I? Next one. We want this one. Nope, we don't want that one. Doggone it. I can still write on that side. Okay, right on that side. Technology.
So
Good times.
5 vertical lines?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, that's right, 5 vertical.
Whoa. So that would be.
So we've still got the 3. There you go.
And then, so this would be 15 times 4 divided by 2. And 15 times 4 is 60 over 2, which is 30.
So even though it's only one more line, you went from 18 triangles to 30 triangles.
Yeah.
So that's a lot more triangles to try to figure out when you're trying to draw all those things. So it's just something like that is able to help you out when you actually are doing those things, when you have a lot of different lines. But being able to solve that first one where you actually drew them out, and like Cece said, probably gets a little easier when you change colors instead of seeing all the red. But at least you were able to keep track of it and then go, oh yeah, the last 3 ones, which a lot of kids would go, oh, those are the first 3 I see.
Right.
In your case, they were the last 3 you saw. But once again, further emphasizes a lot of different ways to do math problems.
Right.
And there were 2 different ways right there.
Right.
So.
And we could have probably come up with that if we had been given enough time to
Right.
know that we're doing it in 3 different sections. We've got the small, medium, large.
Right,
There's
and
our
that's
3.
why we're doing it by 3, because
Right.
we have the 3 different sections. So
Right.
however many horizontal lines there are, that's going to be the first number.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you could have 5 vertical, and then you could have 5 horizontal also, and then you're going to have a really big number.
So now does that only work with triangles?
Right. But anyway, just a little something for you right there. Bring back the good old days of your doing puzzles and things like that way back then. 636-4357 is the phone number. We'll be back with more right after this. Our next mathematician is a French mathematician, Joseph Lagrange. Now, he was a great mathematician, but his greatest contribution was the development of the metric system. Now, in the United States and a couple of other countries, we still use customary units, but the rest of the world is on the metric system. This was his contribution. In France, when he was growing up, there were over 300 different ways of measuring area. So the government decided there needed to be a change. They agreed a meter should be equal to 1/10,000,000th of the distance from the North Pole to the equator. Once again, we use customary units, and a lot of times when you're traveling in different parts of the country, you may see signs that say something is a certain number of miles away or a certain number of kilometers away. So let's take a look at what Lagrange did and how he came up with this formula and how you can easily do it when you're traveling. If you see the number of miles, you can figure out the number of kilometers that it would be. So we know that 10 miles is equal to 10 plus 5 plus 1, which is 16 kilometers. And we can see right here that the 40 miles is 64. So let's take a look and see if we can see a pattern that's going on here. So the first number, 10, is the same. 20, 20, 30, 30. So obviously we need to start with that number of miles, okay? So let's just start with the next one, 50. So we take a look at the pattern, 5, 10, 15, 20, well, I'm just gonna go 25. But let's see why that is happening. If we take a look at 5 and compare it to 10, that's half. 10 is half of 20, 15 half of 30, 20 half of 40, 25 half of 50. This works, so we're just gonna keep on going. 1, 2, 3, 4, well, obviously I'm just gonna take 5. So I'm gonna surmise right now, guess, 50 plus 25 is 75, plus 5 is 80, which would be 80 kilometers. So let's take a look at this again. All right, let's do one more. 60, we know we have to start with the 60. If we stay with this, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, half of 60 is 30, so it keeps going. and we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to take all of these numbers, which begins with 60 miles, and we're going to have 96 kilometers. So instead of filling out this whole thing where you keep on going like that, but let's take a look and see if we can find something that we can formulate into something a little bit easier so that no matter how many number of miles we've got, we can figure out the number of kilometers. So the first number we're going to say is n, all right? So the number of miles we're going to take is n. We're obviously going to have to add something to that. Well, this second number was always half of the first. So we're going to say 1/2 of n. Then we are adding, now somebody might go, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just keep on going like that. But you need to represent that mathematically instead of just saying the next counting number. So let's compare this to n. 1 is 1/10 of 10. 2 is 1/10 of 20. 3 is 1/10 of 30, and we continue and we see that continues. So we're going to take 1/10 of n. We add all three of these numbers up, which is going to be 1.6 n. So if you simply take the number of miles and you multiply it by 1.6, that will give you the number of kilometers. And that is the metric system that Joseph LaGrange brought to the rest of the world, our mathematician of the day.
Did you know that there is no symbol in Roman numerals for the number 0? There is a symbol for numbers 1 to 1,000, but no 0. That's why Roman numerals work so well in books, since there is no chapter 0. Now you know.
And did you know that there was no symbol for 0 in Roman numerals?
I did not.
See, now you know. But it seems like an odd thing because 0 is so important in numbers and everything that we do in society and things like that now. So now we both know, right? All right. So Jeannie's in studio with us right now, and you are an architect with Ortiz Melby.
Yes.
And you are an AIA. So
Correct.
explain for us, especially the students that aren't familiar with what an AIA is and how you attain that title.
AIA, after someone's name, it stands for American Institute of Architects, and it is essentially, in simple terms, it's a club for architects. And so if you have AIA after your name, it means you are a licensed architect, and you can still be a licensed architect without that AIA after your name. It just means you didn't pay to join the club.
Okay, so it's an exclusive club.
Correct. There's an annual membership, but basically the American Institute of Architects, they support the profession with bills and codes and lots of different things that architects need. So it's a big support group.
Okay, so I know that we were talking about women in STEM.
Correct.
And we had Chelsy on earlier, and Cece was chatting with her about women in STEAM. And you have something else I think that we should mention about you being a woman in STEAM also, and talk a little bit about that.
Well, I've been part of the founding members of Kern County Women in STEM, and we're out there supporting young girls to consider a career in STEM. We need more women in those careers, and just showing young girls that they can be anything, right? They don't have to be a certain thing.
But in particular, an architect, hopefully.
Yes, I would love for them all to become architects. We need more architects in our career, in our profession. So yes, I'm out there talking to students all the time, trying to encourage them to show an interest in architecture. And
now, you are the first Hispanic woman
yes,
in Kern County?
Correct. Licensed architect.
Licensed
yes.
architect.
Yeah.
And you're not just with Ortiz Melby. You have kind of like a bigger role there, right? So come on, let's hear a little bit about we got to put that out there.
Yeah, 6 years ago, I started buying into the firm, and so I am now the president. I majority share owner of the firm. I have 2 other partners, but Danny Ortiz and Bill Melby retired.
Right, and I think that's awfully impressive because Danny and Bill both have been friends of Do the Math for a long time.
Yeah.
And we had those guys on, we've been to the business and things like that, and you have been more than welcome in continuing that relationship
Yes.
with Ortiz Melby, so we certainly do appreciate that. How did you first get into architecture, or what was the spark that got you in this?
Honestly, a TV show when I was in elementary school, The Brady Bunch. The
Okay.
dad was an architect.
Oh, the
on
dad was an
show.
architect, right.
And they showed him all the time at his drafting table. And lucky for me, when I got to junior high, they had drafting. So I took drafting in 7th and 8th grade, and then I took it again all through high school. So I was very lucky that they offered that at the schools that I attended, and it's the only thing I ever wanted to be.
And that might be an elective that students can look
Correct.
at, right?
Yes.
And there are people that work at Ordees Melby that aren't architects, they are draftspersons, right?
Correct.
So what do they do? Because I know there might be kids going, hey, you know what, that's kind of interesting, and I thought about architecture, but I know there's a lot entailed with becoming a licensed architect. So what is that step before that?
Yeah, after school, you start working as a draftsperson in an office, and there's lots of things you can be doing. You can be out in the field measuring, getting existing measurements off a building that's already existing that we're remodeling. There's specifications writing. Not everybody's like a great designer, but they're really good at putting documents and details together. So there's lots of things for someone to do that isn't going after their license.
Okay,
So,
and I know that there are a lot of times people might go, well, you know, they're an architect and they're just at their table and they're drawing things out like that. But there's a lot of collaborating that goes on other than you being at that table.
Yes,
So
very good. that
what
you
are some of
mentioned
the things and some of the people that you need to constantly be in contact with?
Well, our clients, our stakeholders are the first thing. We're doing projects with KCSOS, and I'm meeting with them and finding out what their needs are. And then I go back to my office and I collaborate with the people in my office, putting our designs together. And then I have engineers. I bring in mechanical, electrical, structural, civil engineers that I have to relay my designs to, and they provide drawings. So we're collaborating all the time.
Right, it's nonstop. And I know that you've got the Speakers Bureau coming up, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this, because you're one of them.
Yeah, so Women in STEM, we decided to put together a speakers bureau, and so we have lots of women in the community that are in different types of STEM careers, and we have a website where teachers can go to if they're looking for someone to come into their class and talk to them about their career and share that with their students. We're happy to do that.
And I know we've got some photos of some things that you have been part of in the past, so let's take a look at those right now and you can kind of tell us what's going on.
Yeah, this was the Women in STEM supported Button Willow girls, 5th through 7th graders, and we took them on field trips and showed them different careers that are open to women. I go out to high schools and speak at their drafting classes. This is Button Willow again, just showing them how rockets fly. I went out to the MLK Center and they had a little STEM program for 6 through 15-year-olds, and of course, the IgniteHER conference was really great. I was able to tell my story and share my path there.
Yeah, and you work with students young also, right? I mean, like 2nd and 3rd graders,
Yes.
you've had the opportunity to work with those kids and kind of get them introduced to it a little bit. And have you seen kids maybe that you've seen a while ago or at some function, and then you kind of follow them a little bit along and have internships with Ordees Melby?
Yes, we're always bringing in like Bakersfield College students in their summers between their college year. I had a 18-year-old graduate from Centennial High School, and actually he was only 17, and he came in and worked his summer and went away to school, and now he came back for a 2nd summer. So we love to bring them back, help support them, and then when they graduate school, they don't need to go out and interview. We'll bring them. We know them.
Yeah, you're right
and
here.
Yeah,
you already know them.
So it's a great way to grow our profession, grow architects is what
All
we
right.
like.
So I know you need a lot of architects, but it would be nice if you had even more females trying to become architects and working in that field also.
Yeah, it's very male dominated. There's still only about 24% in the nation that are female architects. So want those numbers to grow. Here in Kern County, there's only 6 female licensed architects, so we need some more.
All right. I know you have a project going on with KCSOS right now, the Bell Tower, and what's going on with that in a couple of seconds?
Yeah, we're very proud of that project. We're remodeling the interior, turning it into conference spaces for superintendent of schools and teachers all over here in Kern County. So hopefully first of the year it'll be all done and we'll be sharing it with the community.
So it's not only working on new projects, but working on new projects in old historic buildings also.
Correct. Yes.
All right. Well, it's always exciting. Women in STEAM, a lot of things going on. Jeannie, thank you for taking some time out to come visit us once again. We'll be back with more right after this.
I'm John, and we're back in the Do the Math Hot Rod Garage talking about the tools of mathematics. Our dragster and drag racing is nothing but mathematics. Everything on our car is a measurement, is a calculation. Let me show you one of the tools that we use on a regular basis. To keep our car running properly and to keep it tuned up, we've got to make a lot of measurements, and some of those are pretty precise. Let me show you one of them that can be a challenge. This is a spark plug that we're going to run in our Hemi. One of the critical measurements is this little gap in between the electrode and the ground strap. It's the gap in between the center electrode and the grounding strap that a spark of electricity will jump across when the engine fires. That spark of electricity is going to ignite the fuel-air mixture in each cylinder and make our Hemi run. That's what's going to make the power, is that spark. That distance between the center electrode and that ground strap is critical to our engine running properly. The manufacturer wants us to have an 18,000ths of an inch gap right there. Let's try and measure that gap. If we take a conventional tape measure, well, that's not going to work very well. Our tape measure doesn't hardly fit in there, and it's not graduated to thousandths of an inch. No way am I going to get an accurate reading on that. I can try dial calipers. That's another tool of measurement. It's graduated to the thousandths of an inch, but I have a hard time getting the end of my calipers in to the gap. That's not going to work either. We've got a very elegant and simple solution to our problem. It's today's tool of mathematics. It's called a feeler gauge. All a feeler gauge is a series of pieces of metal that are ground to an exact thickness. The thickness in thousandths is engraved right on the piece. So I'm assuming that this is going to be about 24 or 26 thousandths. Let me go and find the 26 thousandths blade. Put my glasses on so I can see a little bit better. It's bright out here at the Hot Rod Garage. Here's 26 thousandths. Let's see if that's the gap of the plug as we received it. Oh, it is. This 26 thousandths feeler gauge just makes it in between the electrode and the ground strap. It's telling me that that gap is 26 thousandths. That's never going to work for a race car. We've got to reduce that gap. We've got a tool to do that. We can take the spark plug and place it in this tool. This tool will let us take and bend our ground strap closer to the center electrode. We're not just going to guess on that. We're going to take our feeler gauge, set it to 18 thousandths of an inch. Got to go and find the 18 thousandths. There's 18 thousandths. I'm going to set that right inside our gap so we know when this is bent, it's 18 thousandths. Squeeze it down to bend that gap. We're bending that electrode down now. Take it out. Perfect fit. We've now gapped this spark plug to 18 thousandths of an inch using a simple tool of mathematics, the feeler gauge.
Another one of the many tools of mathematics brought to us by our dear friend John here at Do the Math. Have you ever seen hot rods race like that?
No.
No? I don't think, I've been to a couple at Lebanon Valley Speedway in New York, and I know John has been there because he's a drag racer. Is that a proper term, drag racer? Yeah, drag racer. And I didn't know about all of the different tools. Would you go in a race car like that, a dragster? Would you go in a dragster and just go, all right, I'm just going to hit it and go? Would you do that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, do you have any idea how fast you might go?
200 miles an hour.
200 miles an hour? John, how fast would he go? If he got in that and he goes, I'm punching and I'm going to do this quarter mile or whatever it is.
Could probably do 200.
200 miles an hour, pretty fast though too, right? I mean, it's going to happen pretty quick, and you better hope that parachute opens up at the end anyway. So we're not going to put you in peril like that right now. We are going to have you struggle a little bit though. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
A struggle is always good, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's the right attitude there. So, all right, let's get over to the board. So this is one of the programs we have this year. This is Struggly. And the thing with Struggly is that there are no directions. You need to take a look at what is presented on the board and see if you can figure out what to do. It will give you messages every once in a while like, hey, great work, you did it, or you made a mistake and you need to try again. Do you understand that there's value in making mistakes in mathematics?
Yes.
Yeah, there is, right? Because once you make a mistake, your brain's working a little bit more and it's growing a little bit, and you're eventually going to get to what you need to do. So you and Cece, you're doing volume venture right now.
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do, and this is beautiful because we were dealing with the metric system a little bit earlier on one of the breaks, and we've got liters and milliliters. So use all of your knowledge, Iman, and try to figure out volume venture.
All right.
So we literally have 0 instructions on this. What are you thinking?
Can you like drag it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you need a pen. I think you can just use your finger if you
Okay.
want. That way you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about anything writing on there.
So maybe it wants it in order. Oh, okay. From greatest to least.
Okay.
So what has the greatest?
But they kind of look like they already do, right?
Oh, they're already in there.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. They already kind of, but that one's shorter, so
Does it
that's
switch?
kind of.
Oh, okay, they do switch. Okay, so
Okay.
we do have to put it in order
Okay.
from some way. So we can try greatest to least,
Okay.
least first.
Okay, so do you think this is greatest to least as it is right there? Because this one's shorter, so and then
Yeah.
that one's a little bit taller, so I'm a little worried.
I think we should put all the units in one, just like a one type of unit. So
Okay.
we can,
Okay, I can appreciate. I'm good with that.
yeah. So
How do we do that?
1350 milliliters.
Mm-hmm.
So milli is 1,000, so we move it 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is about 1.35 liters.
Okay.
This is 0.9 liters.
Okay.
This would be half a liter.
Okay.
And this would be a fourth.
So we think maybe we're already done.
No. Let's see.
Because you moved
But you
one
said-
of the tubes, right? You moved
Yeah.
one. So if you think they're in order,
Let's just. You want
maybe
to press
hit done and see if it
see
is.
what happens?
It'll let you know quick enough if you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Well,
we-
let's
yeah.
just see. Oh.
All right, so I said awesome.
Okay, it was
Okay.
already in there.
Yeah, because you said 1.35. This is 0.9. This was going to be 0.5 and then 0.4. So we're okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
Let's.
see what's next.
Well, I'm afraid. Again, a little bit. Oh.
2.5 liters is less than 2.5 liters is equal to 3 liters, which is less than
Okay.
which is less than 0.25.
Okay.
So
So tell me what you're thinking. Oh, okay.
and
How do we
this
feel about that?
This is not less than this would be. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, this is not less. I can spell it. Yeah,
Hmm.
that should be right. No.
Oh, but we have 3 liters is equal to.
So it says use the
Oh, it's
tube
equal.
labels.
I see.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I see.
So.
So this would be 0.25
Okay.
liters. So.
Okay. So
So-
if this is 0.25 liters, then that's going to be the smallest or the biggest?
This would be smallest probably.
Okay. So then, yeah, let's
Maybe
get
we
that to
could-
be the smallest. Okay, cool.
We'll put
I
it
like
in
that.
order, I guess.
Okay, I like that. And then
These would be, I guess, in the middle because they're equal.
equal,
This
and then
is-
that's got to be the biggest. Okay, good. I know it was throwing me too because I kept expecting it to go from like biggest to smallest, but it's smallest to biggest. So
Yeah.
we think we're good
But it has to be equal. So
now. Okay, I'm good with it.
Wait.
You good with it?
let's just try it. See how.
Hey, okay, cool. All right.
All right, try one more. See if you can do one more.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Okay, so
So they all have to be less than each other. So 1. Okay. So this is probably like least.
because tell me again what the decimal value is on this one.
This would be 1.35 because milliliter is 1,000.
Okay.
And 1,000 has 3 zeros, so you'd want to move the decimal
Okay,
place.
so we've got 1.35, and then our next one would be.
1.5.
Okay, I like
And
that.
4.5.
Okay, we're cool.
Right.
Okay,
We done then?
all right.
Nicely done. So see that? You didn't get it right away, right? It took a little bit of a struggle to
Yeah.
figure it out. But then I think you did the wise thing in trying to get them to the same units, right?
for sure.
But milliliters, liters, if you know million, what that means, then it's a little bit easier to convert those back and forth. So nicely done. For your great effort today, you've got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at Chick-fil-A, so congratulations on that. There you go, a double thumbs up, right?
Yeah.
That's what I give them all the time, too, when I'm over there. So a big thanks to Troy and all those guys over there. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hey everyone, I'm Reed Wiseman, a crew member on Artemis 2.
And I'm Christina Cook, another crew member on Artemis 2. Today we're going to be talking about how you know you're in space. The best way to know that is you're floating, and so is everything around you.
What is a zero-G indicator usually? Fits in the palm of your hand, it's fairly lightweight. Stuffed animals are very common. They can't be dangerous in space, they don't have sharp edges.
It's not a scientific instrument, but it does tell everybody who's watching where everything else might be strapped in, we really are in space.
There is their zero-G indicator. Loved hearing the crew's description of who chose this animal and everything that it means to their mission.
I brought my zero-G indicator. This is Giraffity. My mom gave this to my firstborn daughter, and then that was given to me by my kids to fly on the Soyuz with us.
We brought a symbol of our class name, which is the 8 Balls, because there are 8 people in the class of 2013, and so we were named the 8 Balls by actually your class.
This is a stuffed animal on a string, and we generally hang it from the upper part of our spacecraft so that it's just dangling in the middle of our spaceship. When I was in the Soyuz, I looked at Giraffity often because it's a great instrument for how is your vehicle handling. You can tell yaw, pitch, and roll. You can tell dynamics. You can tell when the engines are firing and when they aren't firing. I see you have yours on a string.
Yes, the stretchy string is essential. Not only does it float after you get to microgravity, when you're in those high G situations, it extends. And so you actually can see how high and how many Gs you're pulling by how far this moves down.
And so it turns out that a very simple stuffed animal on a string can become your primary flight instrument in a thing as complicated as a spaceship.
The thing I love about the zero-G indicator is this human element. It reminds us why we're there, how we got there, the people that supported us along the way. And that is also what you want when you first get to space, because you are in a completely foreign environment, but that thing links you back.
It was the first toy that my 8-year-old ever got. It's a great keepsake, and I love having him up here.
Both of our sons were just super excited to see the toy that they had selected go on the mission with us.
This is our little buddy, the Earth, that keeps us company.
He kind of floats around during the day and follows us in our activities and learns what it's like to be in space.
We've always talked about as a crew what means the most to us about this mission, and we say that it's bringing everyone along with us for the ride. So I think it'd be really cool if we involve the public in our zero-G indicator choice.
My name is Paula Kane.
I'm Cody Haynes.
I'm Erin Draper. We are here at Goddard Space Flight Center. We design and make multi-installation layer blankets that go onto space hardware to regulate the temperature of the hardware and electronics.
Our different projects will range from telescopes for some of the bigger ones, or it'll be something like a smaller satellite.
It's very exciting supporting the contest. It's inspiring many different people to contribute creative ideas.
It's always been cool to think that something that you've worked on has flown and gone into space.
Whoever our contest winner is, once I have the design in front of me, I will literally draw out the design of the doll on this Melanex material, and then I'll shape and form it to whatever it needs to be. Then we'll start cutting it out. We will start sewing it. There's gonna be some type of tether on it so it doesn't go floating away. So we're gonna work on all that. One thing I think is really interesting is that I found out that this is global. So this person can be from anywhere and that they're designing this for, NASA. And I think that's really cool and exciting.
I don't think there's a better way to get people interested, to get people feeling like they're a part of this mission than to have a part of them on this mission.
Absolutely.
And what better way to fly a mission around the moon than to invite the public inside the Orion spacecraft with us and ask for your help in designing our zero-G indicator.
And really, the question is, what would you send to the moon? What would you want to remind you of your home when you're that far away?
All you need is your idea for a zero-G indicator. You do not have to fabricate this. We have an amazingly talented group at the Goddard Space Flight Center who will be doing the hard work. It's just the idea that we are after.
We want you to go ahead and start thinking about this. Get out a pencil, design, start to draw, get out your stylus, make up a design that we can bring around the moon with us, and you never know, we might be reminded of exactly you on our mission.
All right, now Iman, I know you have to stay up to date on a lot of things in the news. Did you hear the news from NASA about a week or so ago with the new astronauts?
No.
So they just had 10 new astronauts, and there were 6 that were females. So that's getting a little bit more women in STEAM, kind of what Jeannie was talking about and Chelsy a little bit earlier. So kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So you like the puzzles that you remember doing when we did these back in 6th grade, right?
Yeah.
Tell him no, because he's going to make you do another one.
Right. Good. Well, he said he liked them, right? And he's our guest, so he gets to do whatever he wants today. So we're going to do some more. So over to the board there, young man, and I'd like you to put a couple of these things up there on the board for me.
All right.
So first of all, Iman, what is your favorite number?
13.
I knew that, so put it up there. Little birdie told me that. All right, so what can you tell me about the number 13? Just write things up there that you can tell me about the number 13.
All right. It's odd.
Very good.
It's prime.
And that's good, because those are the first 2 things that I would have thought of also as far as the number 13. So what else can you tell us about the number 13?
I don't know, Friday the 13th.
All right, so a lot of kids will think about that.
Yep.
But we're going to think about mathematically and stuff like that, right? Because I know people will be like, oh, triskaidekaphobia, fear of the 13, and all that kind of stuff. So let's try to keep it math.
That was
Down
exactly
here.
what I was thinking of, too.
All right.
Okay.
So, Cece, you're going to be able to help him because I think you did a little thing about Meet the Mathematician where 13 was in the sequence.
Oh, yes, that is true. Have you heard of Fibonacci?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about his sequence.
I just remember seeing a picture of like a square and then like a big square and then like a bigger square.
Right, it makes the spiral, right? Okay, so I'm going to start you with 1 plus 1 gives me
2.
Okay. So now I'm going to add these 2 together and I'm going to get
3.
Okay, so I'm going to start this. 1, 1, 2. We're going to add that together and get 3. Continue my sequence.
So add 2 and 3.
Uh-huh.
So that would be 5.
Uh-huh.
3 and 5, 8. 8 and 5, 13.
There you go.
13 and 8, 21.
There you go. So see,
Et cetera, et
13
cetera.
is part of the Fibonacci sequence, right? So there's something else about your favorite number. How many are in a dozen?
12.
Why would I think of 13 if I have the word dozen in my mind?
Baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen, right? So there's a little something else. So we have Fibonacci up there, so maybe write baker's dozen up there so that we can remember all the things that we're doing that have to deal with the number 13. Do you know where the baker's dozen came from?
And there's Fibonacci.
Where that saying came from?
Baking, presumably.
I'm sorry?
Baking.
Yeah, baking. So you're right on there, son. You're right on there. All right, so baking. But why did they go, it's going to be 13? Do you know how that came about? Cece, do you know also?
I'm wondering if there's something about how many circles fit on a tray maybe when they're baking.
Kind of, but they're talking about weight and quantity and sizes of things. And
Yeah.
sometimes if they had 12 and it didn't quite get the weight or the size, they would throw another one in there just in case
Okay.
to make it the right weight and the quantity and stuff like that. So that's why you get a baker's dozen. Because some loaves of bread, let's say you need 12, some might be a little bigger or larger than others, and you're like, hey, I need enough to, so there's a baker's dozen,
Okay.
right? Cookie might be a little smaller or larger than some of the other ones.
Okay.
If something has 13 sides, do you know what that is called? Now, first of all, what about if it has 10 sides?
A decagon.
Perfect, right? And you know that because of the prefix deca, right? And gons, like how many sides, right? So a decagon has 10 sides. So what about something that has 13 sides? You can get this.
I know, I think a 12 is like dodecagon.
Correct.
Because
But your number is
right?
13, so you need to come up with a 13-sided figure, what it's called.
So a 3-sided.
Tridecagon. I don't.
Tridecagon, right? A tridecagon, all right? Now, I know that you are familiar with the Pythagorean theorem.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of a Pythagorean triple?
Like 3, 4, 5, I believe.
Well, that's let's try that again. Right, that's a right triangle. So we got 3, 4, hypotenuse is 5. What else do we know? What's
But
another,
we need to
another
deal
one?
with his number.
Yeah, what's
13.
another one?
So, 13 squared is what?
169.
Perfect. Can you think of two other numbers that are squared that will add up to 169?
Let's see.
Think of a high one first.
10. No.
Well, what's
10 squared, no.
But you can't get
Okay,
69
yeah.
out of the other side,
Yep.
right?
Okay, so that's not going to work. So 10 doesn't work.
8 squared, 64.
So think of
Let's
high
go
numbers
bigger.
still.
Let's go bigger than 100.
121, 11 squared.
Okay, so 121, that's going to
But then
give
you
us
need
48.
Yeah.
So go up another one,
12 squared, 144.
144.
and then what do you need?
To subtract, we get.
We get 25.
Good. So this was what squared?
12.
12.
And then
Okay, and then
25 is 5.
we need 25 left, and we know that our side is 5. So 5, 12, 13.
So that's your Pythagorean triple.
All right.
There's a lot of things you found out about 13 today, right?
Yeah.
Come on over here, young man.
All right.
So once again, you are now an ambassador for Do the Math. Do you have any idea what that means?
I represent Do the Math.
You represent Do the Math. You have represented Do the Math well for a number of years. So you will be receiving a brand new uniform now.
All right.
All right. And as an ambassador, do you know what your role is, what you need to do?
To spread the message of Do the Math.
There you go. Spread the message of Do the Math, right? And we expect you to do this beautifully because you are a public speaker, right? And you do this all the time, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for. So I know that there are a couple events going on in Kern County this week. And are you familiar with the Buena Vista Museum having a family day coming up?
I did not know.
Have you ever been to the Buena Vista Museum? It's on Chester Avenue, right in downtown Bakersfield.
I don't think I've ever been.
All right, so this is something that you might want to check out, right? So they're going to have a family day. They're going to have a lot of different activities going on and things like that out there. And I know that there are a lot of pumpkin patches opening up and stuff like that. But right now we're going to head over to the board. And Family Day is coming up, so it's October 4th between 10 and 4. And like I said, this is on Chester Avenue in downtown Bakersfield. So the Buena Vista Museum have been friends of Do the Math for a long time. A lot of different things that they have shared with us, especially as far as scientific things that we've done on the show and STEAM. So you can see the address right on Chester. It's taking place on the 4th between 10 and 4. So it's a family day. Bring everybody out. A lot of fun at the BV Museum. That's going on this weekend. All right. We have our newest ambassador, Iman, a 10th grade student and a sophomore at Stockdale High School. A couple of questions for you. All right. I'm not going to have you do any more puzzles.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, you good with that? All right, good. But the first thing I want to know is, did you learn a little something today?
I did.
You did. And I think some of the things came back to you from when you were in class a bunch of years ago in 6th grade gate, right?
Yeah.
So some of those things came back to you. And one of the most important things, did you have fun today?
I did.
Good. Well, that's the most important thing right there. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, California Resources Corporation, Edison International, Center for Neural Skills, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Kern High School District, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Tuolumne County Superintendent of Schools, and Valley Strong Credit Union, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education.